Welcome to today's training. The three things you must master to adapt and thrive in uncertain times. This is so important, especially in this day and age. And, just quickly, a little bit of housekeeping here. This is going to be short and powerful, but please turn off your phone. Grab a pen and paper to take some notes because there's going to be some aha moments for you, I imagine. And if you write it down, you're going to activate more of your nervous system. It'll become more real, more visceral for you. Give yourself the gift of full attention and presence. And of course, there's going to be an opportunity here. And I'd really love for you to find out what that's going to be so that we can get to know each other even more. So what's my mission? My mission for this is, well, I want to share the three game-changing distinctions that are going to set you free. This program is called Freedom Hack. And isn't that really what we want? Is that ultimate freedom, financial freedom, emotional freedom, spiritual freedom. I mean, this is the land of the free and the brave. We've fought so much to have that freedom, and really that begins with ourselves. I want to help you find your authentic self, right? We want you to be who you are destined to be your absolute, authentic, genuine self. And we know you have a mission, so I want to support you on that and awaken the warrior within and retire that worrier. And later on, and as we get to know each other, we'll talk more about the reason why we have that worrier within. But the truth is, we need to awaken the warrior. So you are in the right place if you are stressed out to the max. And these times right now, man, it is interesting, and stress is everywhere. Maybe you've been self-medicating with distractions of all sorts. And that doesn't mean, when we hear that term self-medicating, oftentimes we jump right to alcohol or drugs or that kind of thing. But the truth is, there are so many things that we can medicate ourselves with by distracting ourselves from what we need to be doing for ourselves, for our families. Maybe there are tensions rising in the house. When we're cooped up, when we're dealing with stresses, we revert back to old patterns, and that will create tensions. Maybe you've gotten to the point where you're concerned that maybe you're not going to be able to provide for your family. In times like these, that stress is real, it's palpable, which is why this is such an important conversation. And the truth is, though you're sensing a hope, you're seeing that there is going to be opportunity, but at the same time, you're feeling scared or fearful about what that outcome is going to be. And really what you're looking for is a roadmap to navigate these uncertain times, and you're in the right place. Now, in this free training, obviously you're here. We're going to learn what it takes to have emotional and psychological freedom, which will ultimately create that financial freedom. At the end of the day, all of these things are great, and we need to be able to finance our experiences in life. Now, we're going to talk about how that emotional resourcefulness leads to success, and I'll prove it to you. And we're going to give you some specific actionable tools to create the life you desire. So why now? Well, if you don't take control of this, if you don't learn how to master your emotions, you run the risk of losing everything, right? Your family, your finances, your fitness, and sadly, our faith, right? Your family right now is looking for you to lead. If you lose it, they will lose it. If you've got children, think of the exemplar you are being for them right now. How are you showing up? We need you to access that leader within. And the truth is, there is going to be tons and tons of opportunity. And those that see that opportunity now will succeed. Here's a challenge. If you do not manage and master your state right now, you will miss every opportunity and be lost forever. We don't want to be looking back at the woulda, shoulda, couldas, right? We need to be able to harness those opportunities, take advantage of them. Now, maybe wondering, why me? Odds are, if you're here, you already know a little bit about me, and I've spent multiple years on the road with Tony Robbins. I mean, I got so many pictures. I just wanted to share just a couple, just to not impress you, but share with you kind of what I've been up to and who my mentors have been and what I'm doing is to give me the opportunity to share why I'm going to share with you is going to help you and be of value. There you see me with Les Brown. And part of my past, also my music career. There's I am with Dee Snider. I co-produced one of his records. And there's my beautiful wife, Heidi, with Tony Robbins as well. And we have the blessing of working together. Now, in order to make that all happen, obviously, I've done some work. Right. But I didn't wake up one day and just started working with Tony Robbins. I didn't just go out on the road like, hey, you know, it would be a good idea. I think it'd be fun to go working with Tony Robbins. Right. Growing up, I always felt like I was an outcast. The labels for me ranged from dirtbag and stoner, loser, you're worthless, you suck, you're an idiot. I got kicked out of every school that I went to. I went to a parochial school, kicked out of that, got kicked out of the public school, and ultimately ended up finishing my schoolwork essentially with private tutoring. But I always felt like there was something wrong with me. I always felt like I was just never good enough. I was not good looking enough. Just everything about me, I just felt like worthless. And I was just pissed off or depressed. There's the two patterns that I ran. I would just be like, arg, 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 fighting with myself, fighting with other people, or I'd be depressed. Growing up, I also, my challenges in school, I was, I guess, told I had ADHD or AD, whatever, one of those things, and prescribed Ritalin. And fortunately, my mother did not get me involved in that. Her opinion was, well, he doesn't have a deficiency of Ritalin. But think of that, growing up, and maybe you're like me, maybe growing up, you had that same challenge. Maybe you were labeled, you know, having clinical depression or bipolar or whatever. I mean, all these different labels, and it's really a challenge. Now, I found out about Tony Robbins at an early age. I was probably about 17 or 18 years old, and I really got into what he was teaching. At that time, he was on infomercials all the time, literally 24 hours a day around the world. And that set me on the path to owning myself. And I learned how to create or invent who I was going to be, and I made it happen. Had a tremendous career in the music industry. You can see, maybe you recognize some of these people up there in the top corner on the left. That's me with Hanson, the MMMBop fame and some other songs. And that was when they're doing amazing on their own label. There I am next to that with Tico Torres and Nico McBrain. Tico Torres from Bon Jovi, Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden. And that night, I actually, if you look down at the bottom left-hand corner, I performed with them. There's Alice Cooper. I was singing with Alice. There's Bobby Dahl from Poison and the bandana. You'll recognize Little Steven. Top right-hand corner, there's Nile Rodgers. And below that, there I am playing golf with Alice Cooper. There's that picture with Dee again. Bottom right-hand corner, I was a producer. So those are some of the top people in country music. Literally the best of the best studio musicians right there, because as a producer, I was producing a bunch of records. That was a country record I was producing. And then that bottom picture, I was in a band, and that was the band we were in, Fat. And then in the left-hand middle, there I am with Sebastian Bach and Tony Harnell. Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and Tony Harnell from TNT. So blessed. And this is just, again, a small group of pictures. I just randomly picked a bunch just to share kind of where I got to by applying what I'm sharing with you. And it was going great until it wasn't going great. Technology changed everything, and I lost it all. During the music heyday, there was a thing that called Napster came out. It was a peak of my career. It was when Napster came out. I had to reinvent myself all over again because the industry got decimated. The technology that created Napster and all that also created a program called Pro Tools and Cubase and Digital Performer. And there's all these digital abilities to record. So he didn't need studios anymore. Studios started going out of business. Record companies went out of business. So I had to start all over. I had to reinvent myself again. I went from a dirtbag to a rock star, winning multiple Grammys, hundreds of millions of records sold, touring the country, touring parts of the world, and then had to reinvent myself yet again. Now, how I did it? Well, Freedom Hack is the byproduct. I realized after to be able to do it a second time and then a third time and to just keep going, that there's a system, right? Tony Robbins talks about it. There's a science to success. So by doing what I'm going to share with you from Freedom Hack, I was able to reinvent myself. I became a national trainer for, Tony Robbins and other speakers, shared the stage with tons and tons of speakers in that world, still do, became an international speaker. I became the man I needed to be to attract and keep the woman of my dreams, and now have a family. So there we are, the bottom right-hand corner. There's my beautiful wife and muse, Heidi, and our daughter, Elavie. We work together, and Heidi, in her own right, is one of the most brilliant women, trainers, speakers, authors you could ever meet, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And then, after being on the road with Tony, we got recruited to a drug and alcohol treatment center, and we were able to spend almost a decade with people who were struggling, who right now, how we're feeling with all these challenges, it still kind of pales in comparison at the moment to the way some of the people who struggle with drugs and alcohol, who end up literally losing everything and having to go into a residential treatment center to essentially stop everything in their life and live at a treatment center to try and get their lives back on track. So we ran that program, we created the programming, we created the family program, we ran the coaching program, we did all these seminars for people struggling with addiction to help them create a life worth being sober for, and traveled the country speaking on addiction to help people kind of reframe, find new ways to look at this, because what was the way people were doing it, for some didn't work. So we had to try something different. During that time, got published and wrote this book called Under Construction, Navigating the Detours on the Road to Recovery. And there's a picture of it that's on HCI and Simon Schuster. And it's really essentially a case study on how we applied using the technology that I'm going to share to help people create a life worth being sober for. And as I shared, I spoke on addiction so that the docs could get their CEUs so they could keep their licensure going. But enough about me. I just wanted to give you a high level who I am and why this is an important conversation. And here's what I know about you. I know if you're still here, I know you have greatness inside you. I know that there's something pulling you. You know you're destined for more, that you know that you have the potential to do so much more than you're experiencing right now. Right? You want to be able to be the person you are meant to be. And the truth is, for no fault of your own, right now, you're feeling like that's been ripped from you. And in many ways, there have been challenges that you have no control over. We have no control over. The only thing we can control is ourselves. And you know that, but you're looking for a way to make that happen. You're ready to tap into your full potential. You know, I mean, we've heard the stories, our brain, we only use about 10% of our brain, and there's all that, but you know inside that you have more to give, more to live, more to lead, right? You are a leader, and you're willing to be responsible right now for your life, and you know that you must step up now, that you're tired of waiting. So how does this philosophy work? What are we going to talk about? Well, all behavior, everything that we do is driven by our beliefs, but also, which is first and most important, is it's fueled by our emotions, right? Think about it. It's fueled by our emotions. All the behaviors we do with the energy of the emotion that is pushing us along. So what we're going to cover here is the most important thing that you and I can manage is our emotional state. And of course, what we believe, and we're going to show you how that's tied together. We're going to cover the 3 pillars of transformation and a little bit on our beliefs and how mastering these will transform every area of your life. And we're going to refer to them as the 3 pillars of transformation. So you may want to write that down. 3 pillars of transformation. The first pillar is our state, right? When I refer to that word state, it's our emotional state, and in other terms, our emotions. Next is our strategy, right? What are the strategies that we run? And in other words, it's kind of like your plan, right? Again, we're gonna get so much deeper into the actual Freedom Hack program. We're gonna cover these at a high level, and this awareness is so transformative. And the last pillar here is your story, right? And that's the narrative. That's that conversation that we share when someone says, "Oh, how you doing? What's going on?" And then you go, "Well," and then you share a story about what's going on. And these are the icons. Now, we'll get much deeper into all this in a moment. Pillar number 1, our state, our emotional fuel. And this icon right here is going to make more sense in just a moment. So the model in practice, here's how it works. So we've got our state, our emotional state. Now, from this state, we're going to make decisions. Now, think about it. When we are in non-resourceful states, and we're going to get deeper into them, we make certain decisions. When we're in resourceful states, we make other decisions about what things mean that influences our beliefs. It influences what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about other people, what we believe about society, what we believe about God, all of these things. And they're all kind of circular. They all feed into each other so that after we make a decision, we're going to make a decision about what we're going to do, what actions we take. And then the outcome of our actions, right? That is our result. Those are the outcomes after we take an action. So think about it. Let's name some states. What are some emotional states that you may experience either on a regular basis, or what are some states that you'd like to experience? Now, in no particular order, you'll see some of these showing up, right? You've got sadness, fear, joy, happy, anger, depression, bliss, confused, guilt, peace, resignation, calm, frustration, bitterness, anxiety, love, irate, shame, grateful, humor, irritated, silly, curious, creative, confident, rage, and regret. Now, these are just a few of them, and they cover quite a range. But imagine this. Imagine your favorite car. And right here, this is, if money was no object, this is a car that maybe I would love to at least own for a little while, kind of like living in Manhattan. It's one of those things that, it'd be kind of cool to do. Maybe not live there forever, but spend a year or two just living in the city. Maybe not right now, but you get the point. So just think about that car. Now, question. Let's say that you had this Lamborghini or a McLaren or a Ferrari, whatever your ideal, best, dream department gas powered car. So whatever that is. Now, if this was it, would you show up to this gas station? Look at that old Chevron gas tank. That's probably a good 50 years old. It probably has leaded gas, actually. And then next to it, you've got that Fresh Market. And then look at that thrift stop. So there's your consignment store, thrift store, food, Fresh Market, and fuel station. Would you put that in your supercar? Would you go, you know what, let me put that 82 octane leaded gas in my supercar? Now, that would be like putting in fuel, bad fuel in our lives. You are a supercar. So that would be like putting anger in your fuel tank. Anger, frustration, anxiety, fear, despair, resignation, depression, guilt, bitterness, shame. Imagine putting that fuel. Imagine making decisions from that fuel. Imagine what actions you would take if these were the resources, these were the emotions you were making that decision from. So let's think about it. If you had that state, if you were fearful, angry, frustrated, resentful, all that, right? So you'd be making certain decisions about life. And again, deeper into the Freedom Hack program, we dive really deep into the belief and meanings. We just can't cover it all. I mean, this is the program is, it's really powerful and long. We're only going to be here for less than an hour. So that's going to influence your beliefs and your meanings, which is going to influence your state, which is going to influence your decisions. Then from those decisions you make, you're going to take certain actions, and then you're going to get certain results or outcomes. So imagine that you're using that crap fuel in your supercar. You're acting out of fear, anger, frustration, bitterness, and then that is a result, isn't it? Think about it. Every bad decision that we've made came from anger, frustration, bitterness. It's rarely made from confidence, security, love, humor, right? So let's imagine that. Resourceful fuel. Imagine you access that state of confidence or gratitude, or, oftentimes, man, just a state of curiosity is so powerful. You have that certainty where you came from a place of love. Or humor, man, you access that courage, or even just when you're in that state of peace, you were just knowing it was going to be okay. Think about it. You're in one of those states. What kind of decisions would you make about what things mean, about your belief in yourself, in others, in the economy, in opportunity? That you'd be able to then take those actions, make those decisions, taking incredible actions, and then you'd get incredible results, wouldn't you? Think about a time when you did experience incredible results. If you backtrack it, if you unpack it, and this is how this came about, we looked at the most successful people and realized that in order for them to get these incredible results, they actually put themselves in a state that was congruent with the results that they were looking to experience. That would be your true identity when you come from that space of love, confidence, humor, courage. Right? You're able to access those beliefs, those empowering meanings to make those incredible decisions. And then you are your superhero in your life, creating all of that. And then you have that life to celebrate. And look, I only put that wonderful, beautiful house and car because that is an idea. It's part of, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have great stuff. But the truth is, really, it's going to make us feel blessed, grateful, confident, amazing. And you'll learn in the Freedom Hack program, there is a syntax, there is an order. And in order to experience the stuff on the bottom right-hand corner, in order to have that, you got to start with the joy, the happiness, the peace, the love, the confidence to make that happen. And that's why this program is so important. That's what we dig into in the Freedom Hack program. Now, pillar number 2 is strategy, right? The 3 S's. Pillar number 1, what is it? Say it out loud. That's right, state. Now, pillar number 2 is strategy. So what is a strategy? Well, essentially, it's a plan. It's a method or a series of maneuvers or stratagems for obtaining a specific goal or result. And it's just the how-to. Those strategies that we implement, do you think they're going to be influenced by the state that we're in, right? They're the actions that we take. Is this making sense so far? Absolutely. Now, here's what's interesting about our brain. See, neurologically speaking, our pain sensors outnumber our pleasure sensors by a ratio of 10 to 1, which means we are wired for non-pain. Our brain is constantly looking for ways to avoid feeling any sense of pain, both physical and emotional. So it's doing it other than consciously or unconsciously. It's looking for strategies that are going to avoid it. It's just how it's wired. It's its job. Its job is to keep us safe. And here's what's interesting. Stress is pain. Think about it. Stress is painful. And we run this loop. How many times have you ever noticed you're in a loop and you're realizing that even the strategy that you're running is still painful, but you can't get yourself out of it because other than consciously, your brain is just accessing what it knows because it doesn't know what it doesn't know. And that's why this is so great that you're here. So I already told you that by now, you're already getting some value out of this conversation, because if you can just kind of start noticing the states that you're in, you can start shifting them just by noticing them, because you'll just question that. And that's what we're going to talk about. So what are some strategies that you and I may have access to? Well, the internet, right? Is that a way we can distract ourselves? Absolutely. Going into social media. There are some people, and we're going to get into the, in the program, if they're empowering or disempowering, and take that to another level. But think about all of these, right? Social media. Are there sometimes we go down a rabbit hole into YouTube or what have you? TV series, Netflix. Have you ever had that happen? You binge watched a show on Netflix when you may have been doing something else? Who knows, right? Food. Food actually does affect our neurology. So you've heard it, comfort food. But here's some other strategies that we can use to manage our state to either feel good or feel bad. And again, we get so deep into that into the program. But reading, is it possible that some people use alcohol or drugs as a strategy to manage their state? Meditation, wonderful. Exercise, great. Writing, and then there's gambling or video games. There's so many different strategies that are available. But as we dig a little bit deeper, here's the question. Are they supporting you? All right, now we need to be willing to question them, right? Because if we can really grasp that it's possible that we're running these patterns other than consciously, let's be willing to question them. So here's a great question. Are they taking you closer or further away from your goals? Are these patterns getting in the way, or are they speeding up your process? And another question is, am I doing this for some short-term benefit at the cost of long-term gain? You've heard that question, hopping over dollars to save a penny, right? Things like, are we doing things in the short term, but we know that in the long term, it's going to be super beneficial, but we just are getting distracted, maybe other than consciously, or not even aware that it's happening. And now we're starting to get aware because you're willing to ask the questions. All right, so pillar number 1 was what? Say it out loud. State, that's right. Pillar number 2, we just did it, is strategy, exactly, your plan. And then now pillar number 3 is your story. In other words, your narrative. Think about it. At the end of our days, when we're sitting on the rocking chair, we're going to have a collection of what? Of stories. But here's what's interesting about it. You are the author. You and I are the author of our story. We're the author. How are we writing this story? Because check this out. Not only are you the author, you're the lead character. You're in your story, aren't you? You're the director. Right now, as a lead character, again, we get into this deeply into the Freedom Hack program, is your identity. You are the lead character. Who are you? Who are you in your story? Who have you been in your story? And what has that served, right? And you've been directing it. Not only that, you're the producer. You're the one who puts all the pieces together. You're the one, the producer is the one oftentimes who finances it, right? So sometimes the producers invest in ill sought after opportunities. Maybe they know somebody and they just, let's do that. Or they maybe don't invest in the best equipment, the best staff, the best marketing and so forth. Because here it is, you are the casting agent. Sometimes they don't hire the best casting agent, but you are the producer and the casting agent. You are deciding all of this. You are the marketer. So as the producer, you hire the casting agent, and then you are the casting agent to hire yourself. And then who are you bringing into your story? Who are you casting in it? And you are also the narrator. So just think about, as you're writing this story, just look back at the situations that we've been in. Look at it basically right now. What is the story you're telling about what's going on right now? How does it make you feel? I'm going to guess, if you're here, that there are parts of your life that you are not liking the story that you're experiencing. You're not liking playing the parts that you're in right now. And you're maybe thinking you want to fire the director and get a new one. Maybe you want to write a new story. Well, are you ready to? Are you ready to write the new chapter? Because here's what's great. You are writing and you are on it, your hero's journey. So what's great is, if you've got some challenges that have happened in the past, think about the best movies, the best stories always have some huge challenge to overcome. That's what makes it exciting. So now's the time to recognize we're in the battle. Now's the time to choose. Are you going to pick up that lightsaber? Are you going to cross the precipice to go further than you've gone before? Are you ready to challenge yourself to unleash that warrior within you, right? Now is the time to step up, to take control as the hero of your journey. We talk about that, obviously. So those 3 pillars of transformation, remember the first one is state, your emotional fuel. Second is your strategy. The second pillar is your plan. And then last is the story you are writing, the narrative, the way you tell that story. Those are the 3 pillars of transformation. So that being said, you got to know your desired outcome. Question, do you want more freedom in every way in your life? Obviously, financial freedom is a goal, multiple streams of income, all those are fantastic. What we really, though, want that for is how that's going to make us feel. It's going to give us that emotional freedom, that spiritual freedom, that ability to contribute, to add tons and tons of value, to be the leader for our family, right? Do you want to be the exemplar of possibility for your family? You know, think of it right now, we are setting the stage, right, in that story. How do we want to be remembered during this? How do we want to go through these challenges? And are you committed? Are you committed now to deliver results, not excuses? Because the truth is, our family, the world, our communities, society, we demand results, not excuses. Right? So we've got decisions that lead to actions. So now's the time to make that decision. Are you ready to step up? Are you ready to take your life to the next level? And so what state do you have to be in order to make those decisions? Right now, if you were ready to make a decision, what state would you put yourself in? Would it be a state of that certainty, that confidence? Think about right now, right? Because now is the time to take action for your life. Because the decisions and the actions of the past have brought you where you are today. And our pal, Tony Robbins, has said this multiple times. It's in moments of decision, our destiny is shaped, right? So you've got to choose wisely. Got to choose wisely. Now think about it. How much would your life change after mastering your emotions? Like imagine right now that you were able to access all the strength, all the courage, all the power, all the love, all the curiosity, all the connection, all of the humor that was inside you right now to make incredible decisions, to take incredible actions. How much would your life change? How would that impact your children, your spouse, your husband, your wife, your best friends, your business? If you were to access that incredible resourceful fuel, how much would your life change? Think about it. Imagine if you could access that absolute courage within, that love, that passion. What would your life look like? Now, obviously, I can't teach you all this in this short time we have together, right? So think about it. Here's what we used to think. Nike gave it away. Just do it. Just do it. Well, yes, I agree. And how do you just do it? Here's the thing. If you're just doing it and you're scared, if you're fearful, if you're angry, you're going to potentially make some mistakes. And then you'll say, see, just doing it didn't work. I screwed up. I made a mistake, all that. And it may be, it's just because you weren't emotionally prepared. You didn't have the right belief systems around you. The old thing, work hard. Is it possible you could be working hard in the wrong direction? Work hard is not enough. Obviously, there's that work smart, right? We want to be working smart. And that's what this conversation is about. The fact that you're still here is you are smart. You are working smart. You're investing your time and energy into yourself. And you're going, hey, maybe there's a better way. Now, it's all who you know. Well, yes. And who you know is going to grow when you master your emotions and your state. You're going to expand, right? Because success loves company, right? You heard the old saying, misery loves, company. Misery loves company. So does success. And they have a very particular way of being, way of showing up. They master their state and they do not let anyone mess with that. It is the most important thing and they know it. So it will grow as you do that. You will find the people you do know will be even more receptive to your opportunities and bringing you in on them when you master your state and your emotions. Right? It used to be grin and bear it. All right, we're just gonna have to push on through. There's an element of that, but is it possible that that could be grinning and bearing it, going down the wrong path? Maybe we're just implementing the wrong strategy because we made the decision to do it from a non-resourceful state. So this is making sense. Awesome. So the Freedom Hack course, check this out. Multiple modules that we break down how to create emotional freedom of choice, to consciously make decisions, to consciously choose the states that are going to be appropriate for the activity, for the decision at hand. And we're uploading them all the time. So right now there's, I don't even know how many are in there. There's plenty. And we keep adding more as things change, as we get some new distinctions, as we create more content. So you're going to learn how to create that unstoppable confidence. You're going to access creativity. You're going to unleash that genius within. You're going to awaken that true hero within, right? You are a superhero. You are a sleeper supercar. We just need to wake it up. You're going to generate that high-test emotional fuel to take on any challenge. And right now, yes, we are in some very interesting times. We need to have that high-test emotional fuel to take on these challenges. I'm going to add in there, and they're already there, some guided hypnotic meditations to keep the flow going, right? So you do the work, you get the exercises, you do the work, you apply it, and then we've got the guided meditations to keep that going, to program your other than conscious mind. And then after you go through it, get on the call with myself or maybe Heidi, and we're going to be sure that you can make sure you're getting the results, that you have any questions about applying some of this, any distinctions. This is so valuable because we don't want it to be just a program where you get it and we think that it's all there. You know, you're unique. You're going to have your own models of the world, your own experiences. We want to be able to be sure that you're getting the best results. Right? So inside it, you're going to learn how we do our emotions, right? They don't happen to us. We make them happen. But all too often, it's been other than conscious. You're going to look at what strategies are supporting you and how to change the strategies that are not supporting you. There's science behind all of this. Right? We're going to look at your inner narrative or your story and how it's impacting your life, and more importantly, how to replace it. And we've got some bonus trainings on beliefs and meanings and identity, and it goes so deep into all of that. So what are you getting? The key benefits of this program is you're going to know thyself. In order to, like, when you know yourself, then you can be yourself. And when you're being yourself, you can obviously love yourself. You're going to get clear on what you want, get clear on what strategies are going to help you, get clear on what story, and most importantly, what states are going to get you through that. And if you think about a story, all it is creating a collection of various states. You're also going to reinvent yourself. You're going to craft your new identity. You're going to be the new director, the new author. You're going to access even more resources, right? Because it's not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. You're going to be resourceful within yourself. You're going to gain even more confidence and courage and creativity. So what does it look like and how does it work? Well, check it out. There are online modules. They're going to be in bite-sized pieces, ranging from 20 minutes to sometimes maybe even upwards of 40 minutes or an hour, and you get to do it at your own pace. So you get to watch the module over, do the exercises over, and of course, as I shared earlier, there's guided hypnotic meditations to keep that momentum. And again, we're adding more all the time. And just quick testimonials here. Here's a great thing about Doug. He focuses on getting you rapid results by getting you laser focused, cutting through the clutter, and inspiring you to produce outcomes. Thanks, James. Here get from Julianne. Doug is amazing. He brings an incredibly high level of integrity and creativity to his work. More to the point, he gets great results. If you want results, you're in the right place. And then my friend Adam here, Doug consistently positions himself strategically along the path of success for his multitude of clients. He helps them understand where they are, how to get where they want to be, and what is required to get there. Isn't that what we've been talking about? He then empowers them with the right tools and support to make their vision a reality. That is my passion. Nothing brings me more joy to know that you are succeeding on whatever it is that you've created, because there's just science behind it. You create that vision, but make that vision from the right state in the first place. And we'll get into that in the program. Now, question, right? Are you an investor or a consumer? You know, there are so many people who will buy a big screen TV before they buy a program that will educate themselves, before they get themselves to school. Right? Are you an investor or a consumer? Are you investing in yourself? And Warren Buffett, what he said, even now, the most important investment you can make right now is in yourself. So are you an investor or a consumer? And what's the cost of not taking action? Well, there's going to be opportunities coming our way all the time. And we're going to miss them if we're not ready to take action, right? What did I think Warren Buffett said this as well? When people are greedy, run. When people are scared, it's the best opportunity. I'm telling you right now, and it's always the case, but even now more so, when people are stressed, when they're scared, when they're holding tight, they need you to step up. They need the leadership. The opportunity now is for you to step up and be the absolute best that you can, to break free of whatever's been holding you back. We need you to step up as a leader, right? Because in the next weeks, months, and beyond, you'll be filled with incredible opportunities. Now, question. Will you be emotionally and mentally prepared to take advantage of them? And again, back to as an exemplar. What are you showing people right now about yourself? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to take that belief, that risk in yourself? Because the only reason why someone wouldn't take action is because they don't believe in themselves, because they know the opportunities are out there. Think about it. We know, we see it everywhere. Sometimes we just got to throw up a mirror. I've been guilty of it as well. And the only reason why I'm here sharing it, because I've done the work, I've invested in myself to like hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of hours, unbelievable amounts of time, energy, focus, and finances in order to become the person that can support other people on this path, right? So what does success look like? Well, it used to be that 80% of success was just showing up and say, oh yeah, just show up. Well, then we heard it was 80% was mindset, right? So you have to show up, but of course you have to learn some mechanics. And there was a lot of certifications and all those kind of things. I've done it all. Here's what I found. We believe now it's 90 or 95% mindset. Because if you don't have that mindset, you can't even learn the strategies necessary. You can invest in a program, but if you don't invest in yourself first and mastering your mindset, mastering your emotions, you're basically putting bad money after good, because you're not going to get the most out of it. And then you'll say something, oh, I tried that. That doesn't work. And it's not that the system doesn't work. It's that you didn't work the system because you put bad fuel in your tank. It's like blaming the car when you put that crap gas in that car. So how is Freedom Hack different? Well, we believe that you have all the resources you need within you right now. You just need to access them. We know you're a genius. We know that you are amazing and awesome and you have so much to offer. You just need to access it and set it free. That's why it's called Freedom Hack. It's more than just emotional and spiritual freedom. It's freedom on a next level. We believe that you are not broken. Everything you have done in the past was according to the best conditioning and learning you had available at that time. Wherever you are has been a direct result of the experience and knowledge, the meanings, the beliefs, the states, the strategies, and the story you had in the past. You are functioning perfectly. And we believe by learning how to master your state, your emotional fuel, your genius is released. So, great question. Should you enroll? Well, let me ask you this. Are you ready to take control of your life and your emotions? Is it time for you to get to the next level for your family, for your children, for your society, for your business? Are you willing to step up into the leader inside? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of being stuck or dragged down? So if you said yes to any of these, then absolutely, yes, you should enroll. Now, the question is, will you take that step into yourself? Because here's what it's not for. It's not for people, excuse makers. It's not for people who are pity partiers, who are too busy picking up the phone and going, oh, can you believe this? Can you believe that? How horrible. This is not for a victim mentality. This is the opposite. This is for the victor. This is not for people who aren't willing or wanting to change. There's nothing wrong. Look, if you don't want to change, you're not willing to, that's fine. I honor your journey, but it's just not, this isn't going to be for you, right? This isn't for people who are just complacent or who are satisfied with the status quo. This is a leadership conversation. So check it out. Freedom Hack comes with the online course with the multiple modules, breaking it down so on how you can create your emotional freedom of choice. You'll learn how to create unstoppable confidence, access creativity, awaken the true hero within, and generate high-test emotional fuel to take on any challenge, the guided hypnotic meditations, and of course, that one-on-one call with me so that you can ensure effective application so you get results. We are committed to you getting results. We will not make excuses. We're going to support you and make sure it happens. So the question is, how do you talk yourself out of taking action? Right? If you think about that model, the philosophy we showed, so you got that state. So what state's coming up for you? Just notice it. All right, what's coming up? And of course, there's the time, the money, all of that. Well, we haven't even talked about any of that. And if you're going down that road, you're already noticing that that's how you do it. But of course, but wait, there's more. That's why we're going to give you a bonus, really, to make this such a no-brainer. It is our commitment to make sure you can make this happen. So with the Freedom Hack program, of course, you can get that one-on-one call. I'm also going to throw in the heart of networking. Now, we're adding some content about networking in online because that is blown up right now. But the truth is you're still going to go back out and network with people. And there are some incredible strategies that could help you blow up your business. And by the way, it could also be dating. There's ways that what we talk about in that can very well be used if you're looking to enhance your romantic relationships. Right? And also, we're going to throw in a ticket to our live breakthrough speaker training event. Now, this is going to be incredibly powerful because the purpose behind the breakthrough speaker training is to support you in sharing your story, to grow your business through speaking. And that can be for anyone who's into real estate, mortgage, insurance, widgets, network marketing. It doesn't matter. Speaking is one of your most valuable and underused resources. And those are the ones that are free. You get to do it anytime. You are your voice, social media, all of that. We cover all of that in the speaker training event. We need you right now to be a leader. Now is the best time for you to be the best version of yourself. Think about it. Right now, when people are scared, if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to do this small investment of energy, time, and money into yourself, imagine how you're showing up for your spouse, for your children, for your business, for your community. This is the time to do the work. We have the perfect opportunity. And in order to take advantage of it, you've got to be in the right space. You've got to have the right fuel. You've got to implement the right strategies and be the author. So think about it. This is an investment. So check it out. Freedom Hack is $9.97 with all the modules, all the trainings, all of that. The one-on-one coaching call, it's $500. That's like on the low end of my one-on-one calls for my consulting. Heart of Influence. It's a quick online training, but it is brilliant. $200. Breakthrough Speaker Live is $1997. That brings a total to $3,600 or $3,688. The coronavirus special. So this is temporal. We'll redo this whole thing when it comes time, when this is all over. So for the next month or so, bottom dollar. We're doing this because that just essentially pays for the hosting of all of this. This is not a huge money maker. This is an opportunity for you to step up. This is the opportunity for you to access your true power. If everyone were to do this, and by just keeping the small investment, you have some skin in the game. I get to basically afford to keep the website up, and we get to grow together so that we could do even more incredible things. So to get it, go to ifreedomhack.com, right, and put in the code COVID, and that's going to take the discount. So it'll be the $297. Those are all other bonuses. So those aren't even listed on that. You'll see the Freedom Hack is $997. Put in the coupon code COVID. It'll give you $700 off. We're doing this during this horrible experience that we're all going through. This is going to transform your time. Imagine if you were just to invest some of that time while we were home, while we were figuring it out, investing the time in yourself. It is going to improve your experience with your family, how you're showing up. It's going to improve your experience with your business, whether you're starting a new one, whether you're managing the other, or whether you just lost your gig right now and you don't know what to do next. We need to access this right now, this power within you, so that you can make better decisions and take better actions. So go to ifreedomhack.com, use the coupon code COVID, and gets the $700 off. Basically, it's actually more than that. It's $3,000 off in so many respects. But I love to support you. It is my passion, my privilege, and my honor that you have invested your most valuable asset, your time, to join me here. So I look forward to communicating with you in the future. God bless. I love you for who you are and who you aren't. All right. I'll talk to you soon.